Hi, I'm Matt Collins. I'd like to welcome you to Bob Weber Auto Mart on Douglas Avenue here in Racine, across from Douglas Park. We specialize in 1-year-old, low mileage, almost new cars. And if you'd like to stop by and see them, or see them on our website, bobweberautomart.com, we could save you between $5,000 and $10,000 on your next almost new car purchase.
I'm Michael Burke, and this is Money Talks. Hi, welcome to Money Talks, the Journal Times online business show. I'm business reporter Michael Burke, and today we are at Taos Chili. I think it's safe to say downtown's newest restaurant. I can't think of another one that would be newer, with owner-operator Dale Destiche. And Taos Chili is at 306th Street, so that's the corner of 6th and Wisconsin. Now, this used to be, I think I have this name right, the Eastside Emporium? Do you
Correct.
Yeah, it was the old cigar and magazine and book emporium for a long, long time, and then it became the Cheesecake Factory.
By Jules.
By Jules, thank you. By the way, because of its history as a cigar shop, you had these huge humidors to deal with, right?
Correct.
Whatever happened to those?
There were 8-foot humidors along the west wall, and they were actually just going to be in the way for my purposes, so I talked to the owner of the building, and we had the humidors removed, and he sold them to someone. I honestly don't know who, but apparently they came up to an amicable agreement, and they're gone.
Yeah. And now we're doing this show on April 1st, 2013. By the time it gets to our website, it'll be April 3rd. So this is your 4th week that in business. So it's that new. What's your background in food? Just very briefly.
The mid-'70s, I started cooking and being a chef in a small bistro in Green Bay, Wisconsin on Main Street.
How long did that last?
Oh, I did that for about 3.5 years, up until like 4 or 5 o'clock every morning. The place was open very, very late. And then after that, I ran the bar and dining room for a major supper club in Green Bay. And I did that for about 4 years. And I just always loved the business, which stemmed from my grandmother. My grandparents owned a bakery in Green Bay, so I grew up with fresh baked
food,
and fresh bakery and good food all my life.
Oh yeah. Now let's talk about the name Taos right off the bat. Explain where that comes from.
Well, the original concept was going to be a sandwich shop, and it was going to be the art of sandwich, which was Taos is an acronym for the art of sandwich. But I had been working on my chili recipe for well over 2 decades, and I felt I finally had it down right, and I really wanted to incorporate it, so Taos chili grew out of that.
All right, let's talk about the chili, which you call 5-way chili, and I had never heard that term before, and I also was not familiar with chili being on a bed of noodles, spaghetti-type noodles. So where did you come across that? I
was born and raised in Green Bay, Wisconsin. They have a place in Green Bay called Chili John's. There's still a Chili John's in Green Bay, and there's a second one in Los Angeles, as well as Skyline Chili in Cincinnati, and there's a couple other chili houses. And the method of serving their chili is over spaghetti, and it's a thick, rich chili broth made out of just meat, spices, and broth. Some of them have suet rendered down into it. I choose not to do that. My thinning out process.
That doesn't sound very good.
Well, it's delicious, actually.
Oh, is it? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
A lot of flavor in that, but I use broth to bring it to the proper consistency because it's just healthier for you.
Yeah, and so explain the various levels, because you don't have to have everything that 5-way has. So
no, you can get it with spaghetti, beans, meat sauce, cheese, and chopped onions, or any combination thereof. We do have it laid out on a menu in 5 specific ways, but you're not limited to that. If you want 2 or 3 ways that aren't listed on it, just let us know and we'll be happy to make it for you.
So you would call like the spaghetti and the noodles and the beans and the cheese like a 3-way or a 4-way, right? So there are those various levels.
Right. Well, there's a meat only, which is the most expensive one because that's the most expensive component is just the meat. And then the spaghetti and meat is a 2-way. Spaghetti, meat, and cheese is a 3-way. A 4-way would be spaghetti, beans, meat, and cheese. But again, you don't have to stick to those combinations.
And now with your chili, you also do what I like, which is you have a bunch of different hot sauces set out so people can make it as spicy as they want, mostly commercial spices.
Correct.
But you have a couple other things set out that you can put on the chili. What's in those?
I also have a couple vinegar mixes out on the shelf. You're right, I have like Frank's hot sauce, Tabasco, Texas Pete, a lot of the standard ones that you can buy in the stores that people are comfortable with so they can use something that they're comfortable with. But I also have some vinegars out. There's a cider vinegar with black pepper, which adds a nice mellow flavor to it. And there's also a white vinegar with red pepper, which adds a little extra little heat to it. And the vinegar will cut a little bit of the spice on the chili if you find it a little spicy for you. I also make my own brand of ghost pepper sauce. A lot of ghost pepper sauces are so hot that when you put them in your mouth, it'll burn out your taste buds for the next hour or 2.
Oh, yeah.
Well, mine won't do that. It offers the heat, but I use my chili seasonings in it, and I make sure that it's mellow enough that those seasonings come through, and it has a good flavor to it, and it doesn't just provide heat.
Do you think the chili is going to sell at all once we hit about May and nice weather?
Yeah, I do, as a matter of fact.
Yeah?
Growing up with it in Green Bay, yeah, it's sold year-round, and I really don't have a lot of worries about that. The chili will sell itself. It's very good.
Well, let's move on to the next category, which are the sandwiches. And I know one of your big investments in getting started was buying a smoker, and a good-sized smoker.
Yeah, I started out with a small 40-pound smoker, and that one didn't work out for us, and I found a 210-pound smoker in a restaurant in Chicago. They were about to retire, and I bought it from them, and it's been working out really, really well for
The 210 pounds refers to the amount of meat it can hold?
Yeah, amount of product you can hold inside the smoker. So,
how long does it take to smoke meat?
Racks of ribs from anywhere from a couple hours to 3 or 4 hours. Full pork butts or shoulders anywhere from 6 hours to, you can go up to 20 hours depending on the smoke level that you want. Mine will smoke for about 9 hours and then bake off until it's at the right what I consider the right consistency to be pulled.
And are you using that just for the pulled pork at this point?
No, I also put the sandwich meats through it to get the smoke signature onto the sandwich meats. Adds just a little bit of brightness to it, a little flavor, so it blends in with everything else that I'm doing here.
Now I know you consider the pulled pork sandwich, which is in the middle here on the table, kind of your signature sandwich?
That's my signature sandwich. It's pork butt, and it is smoked for 9 hours, and it's baked until it's just the right consistency to pull apart and get some nice long strands, and it holds a lot of nice smoky flavor. And then I have a bourbon barbecue sauce that I make here on premises to go on it, and that's nice rich with molasses and bourbon smoky flavor to it, and they complement each other very well, along with the creamy coleslaw that I put inside of it. So I make
that sounds like a nice combination.
The coleslaw makes it nice and cool, and the creaminess and the mixed with the sweetness of the barbecue sauce and that rich pork it's just a really great sandwich.
What are some of your other sandwiches? I don't know that we can talk about them all because I think you have about 9, don't you?
I have 9 sandwiches on there. I also have one that's doing well for us is a Cubanish. It's not really a Cuban.
Okay, what would an authentic Cuban sandwich be?
Well, that would be a pressed sandwich, which would have...
Oh, yeah, with the plantain? I know I've had them
I'm not
that
sure
way.
what plantain...
Okay.
You wanna
Okay, maybe I
stop
had
there?
some, no, that's okay. Maybe I'm thinking of something slightly different.
Well, it would have sliced pork, sliced pork, ham, Swiss cheese, and a garlic aioli or garlic oil sauce on it, and then that would be pressed in like a panini maker or a sandwich
Okay,
press
right.
until it's a flat and crusty sandwich, and that would be a Cuban sandwich.
Okay.
Mine is a Cuban-ish. It has the ham in it, and it has the Swiss cheese, and instead of sliced pork on it, I use my pulled pork in it.
Oh.
And we make that in a hoagie bun. It gets with jasmine tea, honey vinaigrette in it now. We were trying it with the garlic oil, but the vinaigrette brings a light flavor to it that really sets it off nicely. And then we cover the whole thing with a layer of pickles over the pulled pork. And that sandwich is really doing well for us.
That's great. What's another one that you want people to know about or want people to try? Maybe it's underappreciated so far.
Well, we serve basically ham, turkey, roast beef in combinations of them. I think the Taos Ultimate, which has all three of them on it, it's a smoked turkey, ham, roast beef in a hoagie bun, and it's a lot of meat, and it's underestimated because you get a lot of stuff in there. It's worth well worth the price.
We've been talking a lot about the meats, but I know you at least began with a couple of vegetarian sandwiches.
Yes.
Do you still have those?
I still have them, and
you
you're right.
mention those two?
And I have an olive tapenade sandwich, which is a blend of green salad, olives with pimento, black olives, garlic, some seasonings, and olive oil. That's blended into a tapenade or an olive paste. That's used in place of the meat. Those sandwich also has the pickles, lettuce, tomato, onion, and the vinaigrette on it. That is a vegetarian sandwich, as well as a spicy hummus, which we make our own hummus here in the kitchen. And again,
Do you start with the dry beans, or do you start with the like a canned?
I've done it both ways. To be honest with you, lately I've been using the canned. I do like the consistency of them, and you can buy the unjacketed chickpeas now, where they have that coating on them.
Right.
That's removed from them in a lot of cases, and that saves a lot of time. And, as long as you're buying a good quality bean, it works out nicely. And yeah, we make our own hummus right in the kitchen here, and again, that has all the veggies on it in a hoagie bun.
I believe that's the one we ate here one day, and one of my colleagues who's a vegetarian, I think, had that one. She really liked it a lot.
Yeah, I toned the heat down in it because I do call it a spicy hummus, but I think I made the first couple batches a little too spicy so I brought that down a little bit. You still taste the spice. It still has a little bit of kick in it.
For me, you can't be too spicy.
Yeah. But it works out great. And that, along with the salads, we're vegetarian friendly here. I'm not saying we're a vegetarian restaurant because our chili and that kind of rules us out there, but we do have
Before we get to the
entrees
salads, I'm just interested in the process, and I always have been, of recipe development. How long does it take you to develop a recipe for any one of these things, or did you already have these, or how many did you sort of have in your trunk and you just brought them out, and how many were developed new for this? And just talk about that process a little bit.
Well, pretty much all the salads were developed new for this.
All right.
I went out and I tried salads at a lot of restaurants and picked the parts that I liked the best and combined them into my own combinations for here.
This is home testing? That's where you develop stuff
Yeah,
like
this
that?
is pretty much home testing. I did, as a matter of fact, the Mediterranean, which is the last salad that I added to the menu, I did finally finish testing that out once I finally got my kitchen together here. But everything else, I pretty much tested them at home.
And are you simultaneously working on several different recipes, or do you just say, now I'm going to do this kind of salad, and then you move to the next kind of salad, and then you move to the next one?
It's kind of a combination of both. I'll be going for specific flavor or combination in one salad, and while doing that, I'm going to find something that works in something else, and I'll just kind of file that to the back of my mind, and as soon as I'm done with that one, I'll take those ideas and start working with something else. Much like my chili, I mean, like I said, it took over 2 decades, actually more like 25, 27 years before I came up with a recipe for that one that I felt was good enough that I'd like to put in a restaurant. And for the 25 years, my wife learned to hate that chili because twice a month she had that chili. And although she loved the
Twice
chili.
a month doesn't sound very often to me.
Well, when I make it in large pots.
Then they're left, so several nights twice a month.
You got a couple days going there at least.
All right. That's a lot of days of chili.
But I've been kind of in love with the smoking process for the last 10 years, and I have two smokers on my porch, another one in my garage. I have a stovetop smoker at home. I have one, of course, the one here.
Wow.
And a friend of mine and I built a 250-gallon smoker that we could do 42 racks of ribs in at one time.
Wow. How often do you use that?
There's another long story with that one, so no, not too often.
Okay.
But
we don't have time for the long story, so let's talk about a few of your salads.
Sure.
I know you have an olive. Well, you tell us about it because I'm going to remember things wrong. I mentioned a couple of them.
Okay, this is the warm pear salad. The pears are poached in port wine just before it comes out of the kitchen.
So. Which explains the little bit of pinkish color to them.
Correct. It also has a sheep's feta on it, which I've tried a lot of the fetas around here, the domestic ones, and some of the Europeans, and this one is just so creamy and it melts in your mouth. It still has that feta consistency to it. It's just really delicious. And then you have dried cranberries on it, candied pecans.
And those, by the way, are delicious because when we ate here, this is what my other colleague had, and she cannot eat nuts, so we got to eat her pecans, and those were really, really good.
And I do the pecans in the back here, pecans and the walnuts, in small batches, so they're pretty much always fresh when they go on your salads.
And that one's doing well?
That one's doing very well. The other one that's doing really well for us right now is a apple walnut. Fresh slices of apple go on top of a salad that's mixed greens with bell pepper. Again, that one has the candied walnuts on it, and cranberries, and that has a honey mustard vinaigrette, where the warm pear comes with a jasmine tea vinaigrette.
And you have one sort of Mediterranean salad. What is that? Don't you?
I have a Mediterranean salad, and it has it's chopped romaine lettuce, and it's covered with both red and green bell peppers, olives, red onion.
What's that sauce? That Greek sauce?
The dressing is a creamy tzatziki sauce.
Yeah.
And tzatziki is the yogurt sauce that you'd find in a gyro. Well, I take that concept and I make it a little thinner than what you'd find in a gyro, so it pours over a dressing, a salad real well, and it has that cucumber and that light freshness to it that the yogurt provides, and that salad is doing wonderful for us also.
Well, before we wrap here, I wanted to mention you could probably partly blame us because you were kind of overwhelmed the first day. Because our story ran that first day, and I think a lot of people saw it, and there was a lot of pent-up curiosity about this place because it took you a long time. Coming soon. Boom! You had almost a mob descend on you, and some people gave up and didn't wait around for their food and stuff. So, have you made any? I assume you've gotten the bugs out, but also have you made any other changes to the menu? Things that people could look for new or improved upon or in any way, shape, or form?
Yeah, we have changed the menu slightly on that. One of the things that was holding us up in getting food out was our fryer. I apologize to everybody about that one. Our fryer just isn't rated high enough to pump French fries out as quickly as we'd like, and generally we get people come in here right at 12 o'clock and they got to be out of here by 12:20, 12:25 to get back to their jobs. And it's hard to explain to them why they got to wait 15 minutes for an order of fries.
Sure.
So that was one of the big things that was holding us up. So the French fries are gone. We are going to keep the fried pickles. That's a unique item that we carry. And People seem to love them, so we're going to hold on to those. But the fries are gone, and they've been replaced by carrot and celery sticks with the jasmine tea vinaigrette. Also a spicy hummus with hand-cut croutons and an olive tapenade with hand-cut croutons as little sides.
Okay.
So
So there are some new things to look for here.
there are a
if
few
you've
new
been in
things,
here
and
before.
they're also a lot healthier alternatives than the fries were.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Okay.
we hope it's going to work out well.
Okay. Well, Dale, good luck to you.
Thank you.
You've been watching Money Talks. Dale Destiche at Taos Chili in downtown Racine. Thanks to our producer, Greg Shaver, today. I'm business reporter Michael Burke, and please remember, Money Talks.